City?
Mm-hmm.
That proverb again.
Yes. If you have no teeth, do not break the clay pot.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Ah.
Yes, because that pot is the pot where you will find sustenance that meets the needs of your toothlessness.
Nizazawa. Speaking of sustenance, Ndu.
MCAs have decided they don't have enough sustenance. And the very basic level of representation in your government have said, look, the kind of money you guys are paying us, unfortunately, this is just not going to work. In terms of responsibility for representation, we bear the most, but we are paid the least. So there's been a push. It's been gradual. It's been coming, and they've been saying, you know what, guys, we have the capacity to shut down counties. All we have to do is come together and say, you know what, this is not gonna happen. We make up the county assembly, we deliver representation at the county at the devolved unit. So if you're not going to hear our cry, we could essentially turn off the engine, take the key and chuck it out the window. So they've been demanding for a while now. Come on, guys, you need to look at this 86,000 shillings that essentially we are paid.
That is the 86,000 is what? Is the basic pay or gross pay?
Gross. No, basic. It's net pay. Okay? After you've done everything, it's net.
That's the net pay?
Yes.
What's a gross pay?
I need to look at those numbers. 144,373. That's gross, eh? 144.
So the member of the county assembly is paid 144,000 shillings.
Does he have house allowance?
Wait, let me tell you.
That includes everything.
Yeah, that includes everything.
That's gross.
Okay.
Oh.
Now, the push has been quite some, and they've been saying, you know what, yeah, okay.
How much do they want?
Let me tell you. Senators now have joined this push. Okay. Senators actually agree, and yeah, you guys, you've been giving these guys a short end of the stick. So we also agree. It's not fair, right?
The senators also saying they also want more money.
Of course,
please continue. Makes sense.
In a move that could see taxpayers cough up at least 10.64 billion shillings more annually in salaries, the senators have pushed, or rather have backed the push by MCAs for more pay. The lawmakers not only want MCAs' gross monthly salaries increased to 397,320, but they want their sitting and mileage allowances reinstated, as well as a 2 million shillings car grant. Now, remember the SRC came in with their knife and they slashed. Everybody was going crazy with that knife. They removed mileage. They removed house allowance. It's not necessary. Where are you going?
And the grant they tax.
And then the car grant taxed. Or in some cases,
the tax thing I don't mind. That tax thing I understand, but.
Kenya has
78,000 shillings. Hey.
86. Kenya has 2,232 MCAs from the 47 county assemblies, with 1,450 elected and another 782 nominated. They currently earn a gross monthly salary of 144,373 after the SRC slashed it from 165. It used to be 165. In that slashing moments that SRC was doing like that, it also now was removed.
21k went,
right. The commission abolished sitting and mileage allowances and the 2 million car grant that it had previously approved in February 2021. So it's not even taxed. It just doesn't exist. Okay? Senators have lent support to the MCAs. They're now saying, we're the big brothers in the house and we're going to help you out. They've slammed the SRC for undermining devolution. With the move to reduce MCAs' earnings, Senate Deputy Speaker Kadhure Murungi went as far as saying the commission should be disbanded, and we all do what? Go home. He said the current monthly basic salary of 86,625 being earned by MCAs is a slap in their faces, yet they are elected by the people to perform the same functions as senators who earn 710,000. He wondered why the SRC sits 3 times a month, drawing 40,000 shillings for each meeting, yet when MCAs sit in the county assembly to execute their mandate, they are denied their allowances. Why?
SRC commissioners work only 3 days a month.
And when they do?
They are paid 120k.
That's right. apart from their
MCAs
salary.
go to at least the chamber
Three times a week. Yes.
And then, of course, they're in committees and all these things.
Yes.
And all those.
And they earn what?
144.
They earn 0 in terms of sitting allowance.
Sitting allowance for committees.
Doesn't work. Doesn't happen.
Yeah.
At the end of the whole month, they earn 144. By the time Akina Stephen come and take everything, 86,000 is what they go home with. How? It's like saying, devolution, come here, stand in front of me, devolution, raise your hand, and then you do what?
Your juniors.
Slap devolution in the face, surely. If devolution will succeed in Kenya, it is through empowering MCAs, according to Mr. Murungi, and senators, to those as those are the two institutions that will take care of the billions dispersed to the counties. Tana River Senator Danson Mungatana said it is time to come up with another body to determine salaries of elected leaders and not leave everything to the whims and decisions of the SRC alone. His Kakamega counterpart, Boni Khalwali, threatened to rally his colleagues to boycott passage of critical bills until the SRC ends its arrogance.
What?
You have to do it with some razzmatazz and pizzazz. It seems the two ladies who have occupied the office had a brief from somewhere to make devolution fail. The way they believe senators, the way they belittle senators, they're now belittling MCAs. Their arrogance must stop. Mandera Senator Ali Roba said it is time SRC stops making decisions behind the desk, in the corners, without understanding what MCAs go through as grassroots leaders. There it is. Grassroots leaders. The ones who come face to face with people. The ones who represent you at the very basic level. Your mamamboga needs a shed. Your who needs what? Right there. And they do all this work, and they sit thrice a week, and they deliberate, and they have the keys to the county, essentially, in terms of representation. And then you pay them the least. And according to Kakamega Senator, you even now add arrogance on top. Cannot happen.
How is this arrogance manifested?
After all, you slash the allowances and then you say even that basic pay that you earn, remove 21,000, stay there.
Without even consulting,
Without even
having
consulting,
a meeting.
you're doing
Every
it in
time
the
you
corners.
ask for a meeting, you
Don't
don't get
show
a
up.
meeting and such.
Then you're doing it in the corners and under the table.
Okay, but does it therefore mean that there's no logic behind what SRC is doing?
Have
Because
they
you know what
explained
SRC is coming from the point of view that there are many.
Hakuna
That
pesa.
of all the elected representatives, MCAs are the most.
2,000 and how many?
2,223.
2,223.
2,000. Yes.
2,223.
Wait a minute. 2,232. 2,232. Of which,
2,232.
Yes.
From the 1,450 who were elected.
782 are nominated, but they're still collecting money. So SRC said, how are we going to pay all these people?
If we pay these people $500,000, that's
never.
too much money.
We don't have money.
No, but you see, you know, that door, it appears like it was never even opened. It's just remained shut. Okay? If indeed the MCA's case is to be considered, and if we are to have an honest discussion, should the discussion not be how do we get to pay these people what is a reasonable wage? Because this one, even I hear it, I feel no, this is not really what these people should be paid. Because councillors used to be paid 30,000. Before then, being a councillor was even voluntary. Okay.
Then you just get a car allowance.
An allowance, and that allowance, my friend, was pittance. Okay. Now there are arguments around that. Why am I saying this? There's a discussion that one never really has in this country with regards to the county, and that's own source revenue. Because if you work in the county, you are the legislators for the county. You make laws for the county.
Yes.
You are the people who are supposed to provide oversight of the executive in the county. Now, do they, apart from these very many what is called benchmarking trips and trips to Naivasha and Mombasa that we always read and hear of MCAs having, is it not possible for a discussion to be had if own source revenue actually was up to the point where it was remarkably good, and can then one not make a case for an increase in the pay of the MCA based on what the county can actually afford? Because if there is money, it makes sense. You can actually ask for more. But should you also not show that you have participated in that much more money being acquired or being received or being collected? So that when you ask for your portion, you're asking for something that you participated in ensuring exists.
But MCAs don't collect.
No, they do not. They legislate. They
MCAs,
oversight.
the only thing they will do in terms of those things is they will legislate a finance bill. Okay, now if you start pegging finance bill to that's how much they're going to earn, guess what will get into the finance bill? They'll start taxing. You walk around and we smell like you farted, pay.
Yeah.
You know, like
Don't even
they
think
will
about
add
it.
all those things. Number one. Number two, yes, the oversight. So their oversight is just to make sure that there is a prudent utilization of the money, the revenues collected.
The legislation bit, prudent use. How do you oversight something when you don't have a say in the process of getting this thing that you're talking about?
You do have a say.
Precisely.
The
you
finance bill.
Yeah.
Yes.
Budgets. You approve or deny.
We are
Yeah.
on the same page here.
Uh-huh.
I am saying this. The reason why I've given that example, it is not comprehensive, and even I know it is not comprehensive. But I am raising this point. I'm talking about asking for more money is all good and well. What is it beyond having been elected? What else do you do to ensure that this money actually exists? That's really the question that I'm asking.
What do
You
MPs
pass
to
budgets.
ensure? What do MPs do to ensure that the money that they are paid actually exists?
Yeah.
MPs make sure the government can borrow more money.
To use to pay them.
Yes.
Because let me tell you another formula that they
Yes.
came up with. That they said, you know what? Even if we want to take aside this of making sure how you earn money, own source revenue conversations, okay. They said, look at a president, for example. Data by the SRC shows that a president earns 1.4 million shillings and MPs earn 710,000.
Yes.
Okay. On the other hand, governors earn 924,000 shillings. MCAs argue that since the MP's salary is 43% of the president's, it therefore follows that there should also be 43% of the governor's. Hence, 397,000 is what should come to them if you're just going to use mathematics alone. Because if you're looking at representation from the executive on a national level, this is now representation from the executive on a county level, which is where they operate. So if we're going to use that formula, let's use the same formula for it to apply on this side. They said they are pushing for better remuneration. If we want to call it whatever you call, we don't have a say in terms of how the money is available, but this is the kind of work that we do, and this is the same kind of formula that you have applied for representation from the very beginning. So why does it not follow the same?
Should match.
It should match. And you cannot use this question or this issue of that there are many of us. That's not our problem, because there are 47 counties and then there are some 2,000 and something wards. Okay, some 1,450 wards and then 700 and something nominated. That
To
is
meet
not
a
our
constitutional
problem.
requirement.
It's a constitutional requirement. So that's what the constitution required. Pay us according to the formula.
You know,
what's the problem?
I'm not going to move from.
Let's
this
not
point
even
that
add
I've
emotions to it. Just mathematics.
So, City, you want to peg it on, get a percentage of what has been collected by the
I
county.
am actually saying something very simple.
Eh.
That our conversations tend to be devoid of the key factor. This thing that we call revenue that is collected, and this thing that then is channeled and funneled out to do all sorts of things. Okay? Beyond saying government borrow more money or passing the finance bill and talking about this and the other, remember, when you have a budget, it is assumed you're making that budget from monies that you're expecting, isn't it? Now, that process of ensuring that this expectation is realized, realistically speaking,
Yep.
you're talking, what are our revenue streams? How can we do this? How can we ensure? I'm saying the idea of being remunerated cannot be divorced from the work you actually do to ensure that that revenue exists. That's really my point.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. The job of a member of the county assembly is representation.
Yes.
Speaking on behalf of your people.
Yes.
Oversighting the executive.
Yes.
And making sure that everything that the executive is doing is as per law and procedures established.
Yes.
Legislation.
Yes.
Okay? Now, the county assembly, just like the National Assembly, makes budget.
Yes.
So the executive will propose the budget estimates for the county. The assembly will discuss and approve and appropriate to the various departments. They'll also discuss the finance bill, where the county executive will come and say, our budget is this much, this is how much we are expecting as our share of division revenue from the national government, this is how much we expect to raise from our own sources. Right? And it will be there. There'll be, because of this and the other. And the county assembly, in the doing this thing, will discuss, is this realistic? Is this not? So we know division of revenue is X amount. The county allocation revenue is this. This is how much we expect to get in our county. You are saying our own source revenue is going to be here, coming from these areas. Now let's balance between representing the people and taxing the people. Representing the people, so you're saying you want to raise X amount of money, this will be too much, it will be punitive to our people, we reject this one, we approve this one. That's how they pass the budget. So basically the county assembly, by passing the appropriations bill and by passing the finance bill, the county assembly has done its work of ensuring that the county government can raise its revenues. It has done the job.
It's done its job, man.
Beyond that, it now just comes to oversight. This is what you are supposed to raise. This is how you are supposed to spend it. Have you raised it? Are you spending it? What are challenges that you're facing in raising? You are lying to us. Oh, no. So you're coming up with a supplementary budget because things are changing and adjusting. And they have those debates and they pass or reject. So the county assembly, that's the job they do. Now, beyond that, if you start saying now they should be paid if the county has collected more, I think that's being unfair on them.
Why?
Because you're turning them into tax collectors, and that's not what they are.
Do they want more
Or you're
money?
turning them into salespeople.
Yeah, that's
salesmen and women,
do
and that's
they
not why
want
they're
more
there.
money?
That
That's not what
they
if
are.
you earn, then we give you a higher commission. No. Their job they've done. They go as far as at some point to even say, you know what? If we find that there's some kind of misappropriation here or some kind of mismanagement of that which you've been told to oversight, we'll even call you to come and answer in form of impeachment. So,
okay. When we talk of oversight, oversight means oversight of everything, not just the everything that goes,
Everything that's happening
in that county. This SRC came up with what they considered a well-informed estimate of what each and every county in this country can look forward to achieving as their own source revenue. Meaning,
this was SRC or CRA?
CRA, sorry, not SRC. CRA,
Okay.
sorry. Commission on Revenue Allocation. Sorry. But these are equal.
There are too many R's and they're just commissions.
There's a S, R, and a C. But the point is, if you look at the estimates that the CRA provided, you cannot tell me any county in this country that can tell you, we're just about to reach that particular level that was seen as the potential that exists within our county. Now, should oversight also not include ensuring that whatever processes are necessary for you to achieve the potential is actually achieved?
okay, but then if that is true, if that is the case, why is the same yardstick not then held against others in terms of their representation capacity in the name of members of parliament? And this is one of the questions that they're raising here. That when SRC now came and started slashing things, why then did they not slash the basic pay of members of parliament?
Because
if you want to look at function, if you want to look at form and function, they actually do the same thing.
True.
It is just that MCAs are at your basic ward level.
True, but MCAs forget something very simple. They know it, but they don't want to say it. Parliament can do SRC a lot of harm. They have the powers. if they decide to be punitive on you, they can be punitive. They are budget making. They can reduce your salary even as SRC. They can reduce your budget as SRC. They can do it. It's really not complicated. They can. You joke with what they think they want. It's you who will suddenly find that you are scraping the bottom of that barrel continuously.
So now, essentially, what you see now, this is what you're saying. Now, flipped on the other side is exactly what MCAs are saying. They're saying, because you did not get your way, that's the arrogance that Boni Hawala is talking about. Because you did not get your way in terms of where you can get more money scrapped off, now you are punishing us.
Now you're coming for us.
You're coming for us. You're punishing us because, just because of what you're saying, you can't go for members of parliament because they'll do you a solid, they'll do you a solid right there and change the law as per you. So now where you were not able to achieve what you wanted, now you're coming for us because we cannot do anything in terms of national legislation. It's unfair.
The Senate have found people whom they share commonality with, because even they were emasculated by the National Assembly. Their roles that they should play, they don't play. You see, this conversation is not an honest conversation at a certain point.
By whom?
Both.
The SRC and MCAs?
No.
Senators and
MCAs? No. Everybody. SRC, MCA,
both of
Senate.
Okay.
Both of all three.
Okay.
The reason why both of all three, and let me explain why I'm saying it's not an honest conversation. That the remunerations of the MCAs is a bit of a joke is clear for anybody to see.
Surely.
Okay, it's not something. It's not something that you need to think very, very hard about. That the Senate ought to have more powers to be involved in some of the functions that we say. They're an upper house that we seem to have accepted at the province of the National Assembly. It's also true. Now, what have they done to ensure that these anomalies are corrected? Or what are they doing? Beyond talking about it, we've understood, we've heard. Okay, what else have they done? The question is also, what else can they do? If this is a problem that MCAs have, who are their bosses? Governors. Okay?
No, but they are not. No. Bosses are not the MCA's governors.
Okay. Bosses are not the MCA's governors. Okay. Eric, you're right.
It's good.
No, Eric,
that's what you said.
No,
exactly.
No. Eric means the governors are not the MCA's bosses. Okay. We've gotten it. Eric, there's a reason why I'm saying what I am saying. I know constitutionally I'm completely wrong, but there's a reason why I'm saying it. I am saying this because I'm highlighting the fact that governors have managed to very successfully arm twist. Who?
MCAs.
Yes, and MCAs have also successfully managed to repay that courtesy. Okay? So long as this ping-ponging goes on, where whenever there's a lot of noise, you are either taken for a trip or you go to Naivasha. How come these guys never go to Malindi? They always go to Mombasa and Naivasha. I am saying that the MCAs are their best worst enemies when it comes to looking after their interests, because they have over time accepted the pittance that they are offered by governors to push this agenda or to push the other agenda.
And this is why this time they are rising and saying,
no more.
Enough is enough. They have been using this through the county assemblies forum. They feel the county assemblies forum, because the leader of the county assemblies forum is always going to be the speaker of the county assembly, who is already earning okay. These people are not taking our course. And that's why they have a splinter group even. And they're taking this matter head on this time. And they're saying, no. You know what? We have got to separate. We've got to separate the issue of us oversighting the county executive, and we've got to separate the issue of us and our welfare. And our welfare issue is going to be dealt with as the welfare issue, without mixing it with, what do we get? Do you want us to pass your budget? Do you want us to pass BBI? Remember Uhuru had promised them something. If you pass BBI, we are going to give you the car grants. So they're saying, forget all those things. Let's not tie this to performance. And that's where City is trying to bring us back to. At a performance-based remuneration apana.
I'm not trying to bring them back to that. I'm simply saying that as assemblies, they have powers that they don't fully utilize. They allow themselves to be compromised. That's what I'm saying, just like our parliament does. And I'm talking about National Assembly, I'm talking about the Senate. At some level, all these wonderful, honorable gentlemen and ladies that we elect to represent us allow themselves to be compromised. So even the very functions that we speak of as oversight is compromise simply because, and when that compromise takes place, all these things that we are discussing, whether it is KRA collecting revenue, whether us meeting targets, all these things therefore get compromised. Things really go wrong.
Starts wrong, it ends wrong.
Yes, it does.
Let's take a break. Spice. We are running now. Our net salary comes to about 86,000 shillings. Gross salary 144,000 shillings. I mean, compare that with members of parliament, members of the National Assembly earning 710,000 shillings. Governors earning 924,000 shillings. We are oversighting an executive where even CECMs are earning almost 3 times our salary.
Yep.
Chief officers are earning more than we are. Directors are earning more than we are. We are oversighting them. And come on, this ought to change. And now senators have said, yeah, we shall take up this matter, we shall push for it. And we shall have this conversation with the Commission on Revenue Allocation and the Salaries and Remuneration Commission, which is the one that has just been having issues. What we are asking is your opinion this time. 0719-012-600. Please call us. Let's hear from you. Do MCAs deserve higher pay? Marcy says, yes, MCAs deserve higher pay. Not sijui, no nyef, no manenos. Higher pay.
Forget it. Don't even ask questions. Why are we doing this? Should they do? No. What are we talking? Representation at the basic level is happening. Oversight at the county level is happening. Most times when we hear that there might be a governor who did whatever, who brings it out? It's the MCA. It's the county assembly who does this, and is saying, you know what? It's us. So then now you want to tell, now what justification are you giving? And that's why they're calling it a witch hunt here, because what you're doing is that you're getting back at the fact that you were not able to slash anybody else. So now this is slashing ground for you guys. Amongst these 2,200, now we just willy-nilly slash as we like, and it will allow you to go ahead and do that because nobody's going to stop you. And you don't have the power to change anything concerning the slashing authority. Nothing. And that's the reason why you're doing this. And that arrogance must stop. I don't like it.
Yeah, and then when Millie, who said that on by posting a comment on YouTube, has been asked, are you an MCA, Millie? She says, no, I'm not. But when you start overpaying some categories, be ready for enlightenment. Enlightened salary earners to wake up.
It's true.
I think it's very important. It's very important we all change our perspective about what the county assembly is. If you look at our structure and everything and the whole concept of devolution, then the county assembly is central to development.
Yeah, absolutely.
Making sure that you even attract certain cadres of talent, people who come in here, and what they're doing is they're focusing on the job. Well, it's not very easy. I mean, we even have all these people who are paid millions and they're still not focusing on the job. But that's not the point. The point is acknowledge the importance of the office of the member of county assembly.
Exactly. They're not just flower girls and boys who have been used to escort the entourage of the county executive in the name of the governor and the deputy governor and these other people. No, they have a function and it should follow form.
You know, when you have a function, whose duty is it to ensure that that function is understood and respected? And if that function is not respected as it ought to be, who is it whose duty it is to ensure that the due respect is accorded? Who?
To the person themselves.
Yeah, precisely.
But that's what they're doing right now. And they're saying that in case SRC does not understand what it is that they're doing, because what you've done is that you've met this demand with arrogance. So in case you do not understand what we do, we are telling you what we do. Maybe you didn't understand, that's why you thought you could come here and slash willy-nilly, but we're telling you what we do. So if you're going to do a comparative analysis, your comparative analysis should then result in an increment in our salary. That is it. We are telling you what we do. In case you thought we were just hanging around here because we didn't have anything to do, let me hang around the county assembly of Moranga. Come on. No.
You know,
I have work. I'm doing something.
Beyond impeaching governors. Okay?
What else do MCAs do?
No. I know what they do.
What?
And MCAs do, what they do is not only, believe me, they do a lot.
Uh-huh.
I know enough MCAs, I know their functions, and I know the things they're involved in. It's not something I can be facetious about. But when you have such an important mandate, the weight of it beyond just talking needs to be felt. So you are saying this conversation begins to put in motion what I am saying.
Yeah.
I am saying it would be felt a lot more if they were not associated more with taking trips to the places I mentioned before and impeaching governors. Okay?
Okay. City. Let me tell you something. 144. 154 minus 144 is what?
154 is 10.
Okay. Hold on to that thought. Last week, the County Assemblies Forum, CAF, and the SRC proposed a new pay structure to finance in the financial year ending 2025. Not even now. Because obviously things have been done, right?
Yeah.
Not even next year, because things already have been done. The year after that. So for now, forget about it. In the proposal, the gross salary of the county speaker is to be increased to 601,674 from 524. So you're looking about, 75,000 in terms of an increment. The leaders of majority and minority will take home 204,717 from the current 144. However, this group that is having problems with this thing, they rejected the proposal and said that's utter nonsense, which it was proposed an increment to 154,481 from the current 144. So the increment of where SRC sat, they scratched their heads, they scraped the bottom of the barrel, they did everything, they collected shillings here, there. What they could come up with was an increment of 10,000. MCA says,
Indio iko.
Who do you think you're joking with?
Indio iko.
That's we have
Even
tried
if you
everything.
remove our pants
We can't.
and mark our bottoms,
And you,
this is all we
This
can.
is all we can get.
Let's go to the phone lines. Opio in Kibera, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Very fine. How are you guys doing?
We're fine, thank you.
Yes. Let me say this. I feel like there's a deliberate effort to kill devolution.
Why so?
Because, okay, let's start here. The drafters of devolution and the ones who are implementing it, I think they are two different people because, like, we would like to treat, for example, county assemblies with the seriousness they deserve because they serve like the parliament in the National Assembly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But now you see, there's this clash of, and this is where these politicians always take us for a ride. There's this clash of constitution, articles, this, that, blah, blah. Like, for example, when Kawira Mwangaza was being impeached, like, a whole house doesn't want you there. But again, the Senate now decides to revoke your decision, like the whole house. So essentially, they're trying to tell you that, okay, you can do this, but the buck doesn't stop with you. But see, you control the house, but again, your decisions are made by other people, you see.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, now another example that can show we have a clash of laws and everything. Like last week when the National Assembly was debating whether to whip Sabina Chege, like, it makes sense to the average person that you can't occupy an office you're not that you're sure you won't work at. Because if you're pledging allegiance to another party, then you can't work in our party. But see, the speaker says that, okay, we hear your contribution, but the court says otherwise, so she'll stay there. Like all these things are what are taking us backwards. Now, last week I was taking a walk.
Let me hold you there for a bit and just bring you back to the conversation. Do MCAs deserve higher pay?
No.
They don't.
Yes, that's where I'm going actually. Now, last week I was taking a walk in my area and I saw an MCA. I saw an MCA playing some games, draft. You know draft, eh?
Yes.
Yes, I saw my MCA playing draft with some other Kizis, and I was like, what is this guy doing here? As in, he's supposed to be a millionaire by now, according to what I think. But again, you see, when things happen at the ground level, like people hardly go for them. People go for MPs, senators, and other people. Like the other day when Toy Market was burnt down, when Toy Market was on fire, you see, the people are not even calling the NC of the area. They were calling the MPs, governor, president, and whatever. So I feel like they're not supposed to be paid more because I don't feel like they're doing much. Yes.
Opio, did I hear you? When we started this conversation, you started by saying you feel like devolution is being undermined and is being killed.
Yes.
Did you mean by you?
Not by me.
You just said you don't feel these MCAs. You don't see.
Meanwhile, the very basic agents, the basic agents of devolution are MCAs.
But then I also have to ask. So
Yes. They're supposed to be ideally, but
yeah.
they're not.
In your opinion, do you feel that when someone is in politics, is an elected leader, that they must exhibit some material wealth for them to be taken seriously?
Don't play draft, one.
I mean, that's what they show us every time. So
tunacheza draft hapa alafu aitwe mheshimiwa.
No, what Pierce just told us is playing draft means the man is poor.
Yes.
So are you saying anybody who knows how to play draft is a poor person?
Man. You play draft, that is evidence of poverty.
Okay, your point has been made. Thank you very much for calling.
Thank you.
Robert.
Yes, sir.
How is Nandi?
It's fine. And you guys?
We are well, thank you.
City and do.
We are well, thank you. How's Nandi?
It's good. It's raining. We are okay.
Very good. MCAs, do they deserve more?
Okay, there's something that you guys mentioned in the morning while you're starting the show. That the salaries should be by pro rata, that there must be a figure of, you are like 40% of the president's salary is what the governor is earning.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, how was the 40% reached? Because to me, it should be 1 out of 47 of the president's salary should be what the governor is earning. So that's what the governor is earning is what, like in Nandi County, there are how many? There are six constituencies.
It is 43% of the president's salary is what members of parliament are earning, not governors. And so the argument is that 43% of what governors are earning is then what members of the county assembly should earn. Because you're looking at representation, national level, MPs to the executive, county level, representation, MCAs to the executive, which is the governor. You see?
So, and that is what I'm asking. That 43%, how was it configured? Because if it is by representation based on area that the person is serving, then do you think an MP is serving 43% of the president's area?
He's oversighting the president.
So it is. How was that 43% configured? That is my big question.
We would have to
I'm not sure the SRC based it that way when they were putting up the MP's salary. But now the argument that is being used by the MCAs is that one. If we just look at just go rudimentary. This member of the National Assembly is earning 710,000 bob, which is the salary of an MP is about 43% of what the salary of the executive boss who they are oversighting. So how about we do, even if we just look to do the very basics, do the same at the county level. I'm
That is a big.
I'm oversighting a governor who's earning 924,000 shillings. Why am I earning 88, Bob?
Eric, you are opening a big Pandora. You need to call these guys of SRC to ask that question, because that is where we started sliding the wrong way. Because to me, I think there must be something that is explainable, something that is logical, because even as I and you right now are wondering how was this 43% arrived at, and if everybody that is oversighting the other should be asking 43% of the president, then the senators should be earning as equal as what those guys are demanding, because they're also oversighting somebody somewhere.
Yeah.
So to me, I think this thing of devolution has really, I think we missed it again, because at the end of the day, look at my own county right now. All the finances that are coming to the counties is just for recurrent expenditure. Nothing is no longer going to development. So we need to sit down again, reflect on this thing of devolution, and it should not be about, what am I doing? Because even if we gave those guys 500,000 shillings per month, I mean, who doesn't contribute in Arambes? We do too. Sasa, what have they delivered on? Can we look at it in terms of how these other companies do it? That after somebody has delivered, maybe he's paid a bonus, just like in a company. Lakini sasa hii ni, we want money for Arambes, for funerals. Who doesn't go to those funerals? Kwani ni wao peke yao ndio wanasimama kwa funerals?
Bwana. Wanataka mshahara ya kununua unga. Kama wewe tu. Kwani nani anunua?
Wewe ukule ugali?
Mimi nakula ugali, lakini sasa.
So where do you get the salary to buy the ugali then?
Sasa lazima mshahara.
No. Hapa kuna kaujinga kadogo.
Robert, thank you.
Nego.
Have a lovely day. This one, we will look for SRC. Yes, of course, Lynn Mengich has been on our sites for a while. We'll keep looking for Lynn Mengich and the commissioners at SRC. We will also bring MCAs again, and let's hear this argument being put forth again. This time they have a splinter group being led by Kina Robert Alai and others.
Yeah.
We'll hear from them specifically on the issue of MCAs and their pay. Thank you for tuning in to the Situation Room today.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.